Hi, listeners. Today we have with us Jackie Azis, who practices law all the way in Florida, USA. She is a lawyer with the legendary organization ACLU, American Civil Liberties Union. Hi, Jackie. How are you?
Hey, great. Thanks for having me.
Right. So 7 minutes, off we go. First question, why choose advocacy?
Advocacy is a powerful way to make the changes that we wish to see in this world. You want to make it easier to vote? Advocacy. Are you sick of people simply sitting in jail because they can't afford their bail amount and thus they're held pre-trial? Advocacy is the answer. Is the government violating the rights of the underserved, such as those without homes? Advocacy. So advocacy, to me, it's the best way I know how to make systemic changes to societal injustices.
Right. So number two, best lesson from someone leading you.
The best lesson I've received is to remember to always have compassion for our clients, even and especially those difficult clients. Generally, in the type of law that I practice and many other types of law, we're working with individuals who are going through some of the most difficult and frustrating times in their lives. And that was true at my previous job where I was representing individuals who are charged with crimes. It's important that we always remember to have compassion for people when we're doing this work. We are there to be good advocates for our clients, and sometimes advocacy requires patience and understanding, which we can do even when we need to be firm and honest with our clients.
Right. Now, moving on from that, if someone who's leading you asks, Jackie, what could I do to make you a better advocate? What will you say to that person?
Sure. I love to learn from the experts in the legal field, people who have been doing this work way longer than I have, some longer than I've been alive even. And so the best way for me to learn is from the experts. And that could be from attending conferences, presentations, Zoom meetings, or working with them on cases. So I would love to work with the experts in the field who have been doing this work a lot longer than I have, who are willing to share their insight and their experience and even their mistakes, because that's when we learn the most.
Right. Now, 10 years from now, what do you want to do?
Hopefully I'll be doing the same kind of work. I love what I do. I love fighting systemic injustices in the courts, and I love protecting people's civil rights and civil liberties. So hopefully in 10 years, we can do this again and you'll see I'm doing the same type of work.
Okay, right. Now, trials or applications, or interlocutories, as we call it here, which one?
This one, maybe, sure. You know, I love settling cases before having to go to trial, but selfishly, I also love the thrill of going to trial and the excitement that goes with being in trial. And quite frankly, I'm pretty good at trial.
Sure.
So I very much enjoy trials, but I understand the importance of both of those options.
Right. So people behind you on the road, right? New entrants to the bar. 3 pieces of advice you give them.
Great. First, I'd recommend to always be humble. It's always okay to make mistakes. We all make them. No matter how long we're doing this work, we're going to make mistakes. It happens. The second piece of advice would be to make connections and keep in touch with your connections. Keep in touch with those who you went to law school with. The legal world is so small. Once you get into the legal world, everyone knows everyone. Everyone's connected to everyone, at least here in Florida where I practice. And so at the ACLU of Florida, I have found having those connections, both people I went to law school with and colleagues that I've worked with in other capacities, it's important to keep those connections. And the third piece of advice I would give is to have hobbies that aren't related to the law. Play soccer, play the guitar, travel, whatever it is, find something that brings you joy that's outside of the law. So when you do come back to your work, after your hobbies, you can give it your all. You can put in everything you need to when you do the work.
Those are great piece of advice. Right. Now, what's the worst thing about being a junior or second chair at the bar?
Being a young attorney, I have felt that I have so much to learn because there is so much going on in the law, and at least here in Florida and in the United States, it's always changing. So being a junior at the bar kind of shows that I still have a lot to learn. And that's
Right.
frustrating. I wish I could know it all, but I just won't.
Right. What makes you go to work every day?
My desire to help my community and Floridians by protecting their civil rights and their civil liberties.
One thing you like to change in legal practice?
How contentious it could be. Even
Okay.
though, you know, we may disagree on a case or even like legal standards, I think it's important that we always remember to be kind and patient with others. We're all fighting our own battles, you know, at home even. And so we need to remember that, to be kind in the work that we do.
Now that you've been at a bar, what is the biggest misconception that lay persons have of practicing at the bar?
That we're all in it for the money. I can assure you, individuals in my type of work, we're not in it for the money. And many attorneys are in it to help people and to make our communities a better place and to protect the rights of others.
Right. And who have you learned from the most during your career so far?
All of my supervisors have been fantastic, from my supervisors at the ACLU of Florida to my supervisors when I was doing criminal defense work. They've taught me compassion, patience, legal skills, how to be a successful attorney, and, you know, most of all, maybe also important, is how to keep your sense of humor while doing stressful and difficult work.
Right, great. And I got one last question. You mentioned the word compassion a lot. Why is it important to you, compassion?
Well, I think there are enough difficult things about being in the world, and there are enough difficult things about practicing law. It's important that those of us who are helping people in the most difficult times of their life, to show them compassion. I think we will be living in a better world if we can all be more compassionate to each other, even counselors on the other side of the bench.
Jackie Azis, thank you very much.